to my uh, very essential topic in general chemistry again. Okay. I want to say happy birthday to Ate Nepomuceno, her birthday tomorrow. The hardworking wife all over the world. Happy birthday. Okay. Now we'll be discussing about very important basic concepts in general chemistry lecture. Okay, if you are now a senior high school students, it's gonna be grade 10 or grade 9, I don't know. So this will be discussed in our chemistry subject also. As well in the first year college also, in your first semester or second semester, general chemistry lecture 1. Okay? Something like that. So the magnetic whiteboard is very small. There's not enough space. So all I have to do is after discussing this 1, 2, 3, 4, I have to erase one by one. Then I have to put also the topics here on the bottom of the portion. Or you can just listen, right? Oh my gosh. So this is gonna be all about substances and chemistry. Oh my gosh, substances, okay, could either be solid, liquid, gas. Okay, it can be phases, PHASES, and forms of matter. Okay, those are substances. Okay? Again, substances are those liquid, gas, and solid as phases and forms of matter. Okay, something like that. These are specifically first atom. Okay, in the topic of atom, you need to learn about the Niels Bohr theory of atomic structure, and then also the Chalcam atomic theory of nucleus, like that, the protons, neutrons, and electrons, the elementary particles. Okay, and the periodic table also. The concepts of periodic table, you have to learn that one because the elements are arranged in an increasing order of atomic numbers from left to right and top to bottom. Okay, because we know an element is made up of only one type of atom. Okay, something like that. Atom, and then number two, we have particles, already mentioned a while ago. Okay, particles, substances, or discrete particles, elementary particles, those are specifically electrons, neutrons, and protons, and others, sub-elementary particles, smaller than this electrons, protons, and neutrons could either be, should we say, a photon, the light particles emitted by the light, okay, or it could be the mesons, baryons, there's a lot guys, and then that would be discussed in quantum mechanics or quantum chemistry. Okay, something like that. Atom, particle, and we have also the mole. The mole is very special. We will deal on the term called mole. This is very special in pure science because this is the unit of the amount of substance. So during our chemical calculations in stoichiometry could either be, we will be computing problems in ideal gas, ideal solutions, or gram to moles relationship or whatever. So moles are very important also per mole. So you need to say the relationship in gram to mole. So mole is very important again as the basic unit of substance. After that, the positive particle charge elements. Sodium positive plus chlorine negative, meaning the reaction of electropositive element and electronegative element, meaning opposite electrical charges. Okay, so it can be done in oxidation and reduction chemical reaction in which the electrical charge or the charge itself are in opposite, okay, positive and negative, and the net electric charge will be the ion. So in short, sorry, these are also atoms and molecules, but with positively charged particles, okay, or positively charged ions, or negatively charged particles, or negatively charged ions. So these are all ions. Okay, so in short, we can only produce ions when we try to dissociate the elements or anything into an aqueous solution so that we can determine that it is really weak electrolytes, strong electrolytes, or completely ionized or weakly ionized. Okay, dissociation theories and principles, and that is also ionization, right, in chemistry and ideal solutions. So normally they are electrolytes, salts, something like that. And they normally came from an ionic compound, something like that. And an ionic compound dissociates and splits into several elements. There will be positively charged particles and negatively charged particles. The negatively charged particles are the anions. Sorry for my tango palanggaan na Cebuano. And the positively charged particles are cations. Okay? Something like that. Okay? These are ions. It's very clear, right? So it's very comprehensive concepts of ions that we can relate with. Okay? Then if you're not enough, you're not contented, you can go also to other references to review what I have mentioned now to double check also. Okay? To validate the words that came out from my mouth. Something like that. Okay? Verify. And then after that, we have the molecules. Okay? Molecules. Molecules really are composed of two or more atoms or several atoms banded together or joined together that made a one compound. Something like that. For example, if I have a calcium carbonate or a limestone, then it's composed of a calcium atom and carbonate polyatomic substance. When they combine, it becomes one single compound. So technically, this compound composed of two atoms. Okay, something like that. One atom of this polyatomic ion and also one atom of this calcium. That's why calcium carbonate, and these are all molecules. Something like that. Okay, what else? So it's gonna be atom, particles, mole, ions, molecules. Okay. Then we have also to consider the definition of an atom. What is an atom? My gosh. An atom is really the tiniest, smallest, okay, particle that made up of one element. For example, mga palangga, if I have one element called argon, okay, then this argon composed only of this tiniest particle, okay, that called an atom, single atom of a krypton. Okay. One atom of krypton, okay, how many grams? In that alone you can compute by considering the relative atomic mass or atomic mass unit reflected in the periodic table, something like that. So, as I mentioned over and over again, you need also to familiarize and memorize some basic common elements and the physical properties or whatever properties of each element in the periodic table composed of 118 elements, 79 metals, 90 to 94 metals, and 38 radioactive elements, something like that. Okay? And you should be also quite familiar with the contribution of this Demeter leaf. Okay, a scientist who discovered the arrangement of this classification of metals according to its properties, increasing atomic numbers from left to right and top to bottom, something like that. Okay, and it's very clear, right? Then we will review a lot further. So that if there are questions in chemistry, then bingo, we have higher scores or maximum points, something like that. Really? Okay, that's it. Okay. Now, atom, particles, moles, ions, and molecule. So any questions so far mga palangga for this? You can chat me in my FB Messenger if your children have assignments or homeworks regarding the basics on chemistry, then I'll be able to help also as much as I could, something like that, okay? And then a lot also I already answered in my FB Messenger, and sometimes also I cannot read because sometimes I'm very, very busy also of other things in my career path as an OSH professional. Okay, something like that. Okay? So I really miss doing this because my career path is not really that coinciding to my profession. Okay, only a portion of my profession will be used in my actual career path. It's only in the, handlings of chemical substances, processes like that, okay? Then it would be attached to my career, but especially the environment thing and the chemical thing, something like that. It's also one of the scopes or the scopes of OSH, Occupational Safety and Health. Okay, since we know also in the workplace, we compose already of solid, liquid, and gases. There's no escape. Solid, liquid, and gases. Okay? In the work area and the places, whatever, all over the world, always solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, and tell me what other phase, PHASE, or what other state, STATE. Three states of matter, three phases of matter, three forms of matter are tantamount with each other, or similar with each other. Okay, meaning solid, liquid, gas. Okay, that is or those are comprising the matter. Matter, because matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Okay, as we keep and remembering the definition, since we are in the grade school level or in our elementary level, then we will still engrave that in our brain cells. Then that's it. If we understand matter, then we can also understand other things relevant to chemistry. Okay, going back to atom particles, most ions and molecules, mga palangga. Welcome! Welcome mga kakang-pinks! I'm wearing pink right now. Oh my gosh, I love pink. Oh my gosh. Okay, going back. Atom particles, most ions, and this is not a political particular, but I love really pink ever since. Okay, my laptop is pink, my mouse is pink. Oh my gosh. And then one of my typewriters also pink. Oh my gosh. Think. Fuchsia. Fuchsia think. Kaloka. Fuchsia think. O nakakaloka, di ba? My shirt is also pink. My shirt is also light pink. Name it always pink. Okay, I love that. Not as a political color, but I really love it as a color itself. Okay. Now, going back to the problem solving. Mag-solve na ito mga palangga, di ba? So exciting. A beautiful Friday to each and every one of us all over the world. Hello, we are safe by the eyes of God. Oh, di ba? He protected us every time from all adversities and failures in life. And we must keep on going on, moving on, moving on, moving on, go, 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 go. Like that. To relinquish to relinquish the fears and doubts to achieve the triumphant victory of our goals and ambitions in life. O diba? To help our families achieve also their goals and to be happy with them. Okay, and to be relevant to the society and into the community as well. Wow. Right? Okay. Grabe ka, Jun. Yes, that's it. Okay. Now, problem number 1. I want you to get a blank sheet of paper, mga palangga. So, disclaimer, I'm not a legit instructor. I'm just only an instructor and professor in interactive platform of sharing academic information, particularly science, as a vlogger. Okay, not really a public or a private educator. Okay, just for the purpose of discussion only in my vlog. Okay, something like that. Okay, though I did a lot of trainings before regarding OSH, but definitely I don't have, teaching like that, methodologies, knowledge, or units, or teaching units. Okay, these are only informal. Okay, disclaimer, informal, meaning I don't have to, it's very spontaneous. What you heard is what you get on the spot. Okay, this is not scripted nor prepared. Okay, this is not also planned. Okay, when I wake up in the morning, oh, I have to vlog. So it's really what comes on my mind. Oh, I'm very, very boring today. Then God, I have to vlog. I have to share information to the younger generations. Oh, diba? Something like that. Science, academic information. Then it's gonna be, of course, my first love, chemistry. First love, chemistry. No, it's not. Second love, chemistry. First love is singing. Okay, singing and science, chemistry, and this stuff's also communicating, talking, discussing, or sharing academic information in this way would be also enough for me to be fulfilled. Well, fulfilled individual. Well, and I am very, very happy without any equivalent money. Not paid, this is for free. Oh my gosh. Okay, question number one. Ano, kailangan naman sabihin, di ba? Okay, number one. 10 moles of natural gas. Calculate the molecules of natural gas and the atoms of hydrogen formed. Now you can really scrutinize the problem. It looks like difficult, right? If you don't have an idea about the terms. Okay, we need to scrutinize, okay, examine the terms, the terminologies involved in this particular problem. Okay, we have moles. I mentioned that a while ago. Okay. I have also molecules. I mentioned that while ago, the technical definitions. Okay. Now we have also the atoms. I discussed that already a while ago, the technical definition of an atom. Okay, now we have an idea how to code it already. But we still have problem on the link, L-I-N-K, the link and the correlation of what is really the possible constant of this. Okay, because as we can imagine, or as we can see in our problem number one, oh my gosh, there is only one datum. Okay, datum. Datum means the singular form of data. Okay, data is the plural, datum is the singular form. Now, it's only one data here, the 10 moles, right? So it's gonna be datum. I should be particular in grammar. Nakakaloka. One datum, 10 moles of CH4 only. Then, in chemistry calculations and problem solving, it looks like very strange if there is only one datum. Okay? Or given in the problems. How can we do this? And now we can to think for a constant called Avogadro number. Okay, this is very, very useful in calculation of atom, okay, molecules, moles, grams, formula units, okay, sometimes electrons also can be, okay, because we can link that to the Faraday constant, okay, later on. Faraday constant is 96,500, okay, coulomb per mole Kelvin electrons, as you can remember. Then if you try to multiply electrons to a certain electrons being added in our oxidation and reduction, and it will be cancelled. That's why it's also useful to say electrons. Okay? Like that. Molecules, atoms, particles, name it for this. Okay, so I need to introduce you the very popular and famous constant. It's going to be obsolete because there's no other constant that we still keep on using until now in our educational curriculum in our chemistry subject. It's always like that since 16th century up to now. Okay, and what is that constant all about? That is Avogadro constant. Okay, as we can remember, the history of Mr. Avogadro, he is not limiting only his constants to be used in the substances chemical calculation. He also discovered the Avogadro law that states that the number of moles will be related also to the volume occupied by the gas or a liquid. Okay? Or shall we say directly proportional, something like that. But I don't have to validate yet unless I have the formula that I can exactly give you the specific theory for that. But for now, I can only say that it's gonna be the relationship of the number of moles and the volume. So if studied like that, that's focus of the study and scientific research of Mr. Amadeo Avogadro. Okay, a scientist before in the past. That's why we have these computations also regarding with atoms, molecules, substances because of him. And up to now, we will be thankful to him because our textbooks having reflected his name over and over again. And up to now, 2022, in our books in chemistry. Okay? So that is Avogadro number. Okay, 6.023 times 10 to the 23. Okay, if you go now to the National Bookstore and in a public library, then search a chemistry book. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Avogadro number is still reflected up to now. Okay, there's no other constant that superseded and replaced this constant of Avogadro Never, nothing. Okay, something like this. It's gonna be 6.023 times 10 to the 23. Now we can say 1 mole is equal to 6.023 times 10 to the 23. Now, ang tanghaga dito mga kapatid, are there a lot of units to be equated to this 1 mole? So it's gonna be 1 mole, something like it. You can take that also in a blank sheet of paper if you want also. Get a blank sheet of paper and write down every word, singular, that will come out from my mouth. Nakakaloka. Okay, so sige na, 1 mole is equals to 6.023 times 10 to the 23. Oh, di ba mga hita kong mga palangga, mga kakampink, get a blank sheet of paper. Okay, like that. So 1 mole is equal to 6.023 atoms. It could be also molecules. Okay, it could also be formula units. This is not common. I will teach you about formula units. Okay, like that. And then it's also ions or particles or name it mga palangga. It could be as long as you have a valid constant and you can do and play around your calculations in the problem solving and you can get exactly what is being asked in that particular problem if you have really the basic concepts in your brain cells. Okay, like that. Okay, they're not as early as now. If you are not in your senior high school student or in grade school elementary level, pay attention, memorize already when you are still young. Okay, because it will be carried over and over again when you grow old, and then when you reach 40, 50, 60, 70, you can still remember the constants until your last breath. Okay? Just like this, I don't prepare, but I can still remember those. Okay? Because it was all are engraved in my brain cells. Okay, I pay attention for all the teachers in my elementary, in my high school, and because sometimes also there are also lessons that will automatically been registered in my brain cells without writing in the notebook. Okay, things like that. Okay, to minimize your notebook. And then you can help also your parents. Instead of having 10 notebooks to buy, then it will limit to 3 notebooks because some of the lessons will be automatically be registered in your brain cells. No need to write. But not all students like that. Not all blessed by God to have that kind of, you know what I mean. Okay, so only few also. So you have to be extra careful as much as possible. You will maximize the resources as much as you could. Oh, maximize your resources when having notebooks, adequate supply of notebooks, adequate supply of books, adequate supply of reference books or online materials, pamphlets, notes, everything. Then study. Something study like that. O di ba? Nakakaloka. Study like that. Okay. Classroom instruction, library, home, like that, and even in the road. So even in the road, know what I mean is when you walk, then your parents push you to buy the scene, a sukar in that particular, sari-sari store. Then you have also to memorize every step you make. Sodium chloride is an unique compound. Just like me before, every step I will memorize everything in my brain cells. And then, this is really true. When I do the coffee, I need to know, what is the formula of sugar? Water, like this. But it's only in my brain cells. I don't have to share with my brother. I don't have to share with my sister like that. But it's only in my brain cells. I'm just imagining things in my brain. When I make a coffee like that, when I put salt on the fish, dumabatika ta, I will put sugar. I will observe really. I will not speak, of course, because I'm just doing it by myself. If I will talk to others, they will say, nabuang ko, di ba? So, better for myself only. What will happen to the sodium chloride if I will put this? And then suddenly, it will dissolve. Like that. Because this is an electrolyte. Di ba? Ang saya-saya. When you obtain knowledge in school, put that in practice in daily life and understand really what's going on by seeing that in your naked eye, in your visualization. And you have to, validate. That's why my instructor told that to us because it's really dissociating. The sodium chloride will dissolve in water like that. Or if something like that, you need to to study with purpose really, not only to pass the subjects because you want to become a dean's lister, a president's listers, a top notchers, and academic achievers, or to have a good scholastic records, academic records. You need to study because you need to apply that in your day-to-day life. Okay, that's the most important goal in studying. Not to pass the subject, but to apply that in your day-to-day life, especially the science around us. Because the only one to survive us is through science. Okay, why? Because it talks about the food we eat, okay? And other subjects doesn't talk about food. Okay? You get the point. Financial subjects are not talking about the food. Then you eat food every day. How can you survive? You eat money every day? No, it's not. You eat the food every day, and you should know the chemistry of that food you eat, what will happen to your vital organs later on. After 1 year, 2 years, you will develop a disease. So things like that, we should be extra careful and aware. The signs of the foods and drinks we eat day by day. Okay? Limit your activities in things that cannot improve your academic potential. Okay? For example, only watching politics, only watching, jokes, chupa chuchu, only watching sports. And how about your health? Okay? Your main purpose is to have sustainability in this world, to live with your family. Okay? To exist as much as we could, to live longer in this land. And how can you do that if you don't know really the disadvantages and the health effects of the foods and drinks you eat every day? Okay, that's why I told you the most important subjects are chemistry, epidemiology, physiology, anatomy, because we can find many anywhere. As long as we have our own eyes, our feet, our hands, we can get many. But these four really, without this, we will get sick after 1 day. Okay? If you don't understand. If you don't understand what is the function of your liver, if you don't understand what is the function of your heart, if you don't understand what is the function of your brain, things like this we should understand. And we should understand, why should I eat rice every day? What is the health benefits of this rice? What's the benefits of the sugar? Sugar is the deadliest substance in the world. I have to limit the intake of the sugar because it could really create, bad impact to my health. So something like that, we need to be extra careful and smart enough to learn chemistry, okay, epidemiology, physiology, and anatomy. Okay, something like all about science and a little bit of mathematics because given a mathematics, subtraction, addition, multiplication, it's very simple. Okay, so it's only chemistry, physiology, anatomy, and epidemiology. Epidemiology is a study of the disease and prevention. Okay, now if you are aware for that, even though a simple headache will not occur to you because you know already what are the things to be taken and precautions to be taken to avoid headache, stomach pain, like that, kidney failure, okay, like that, name it, okay, obesity, fat that leads to several diseases because you studied the epidemiology thing for that, something like that, and then you couple that with the understanding of the substances you take. Then, if you are curious to become thin, THIN, and your diet, then you have to understand the chemistry, the calories thing. What is a calorie? A calorie is the basic unit of an energy. Okay, calorie. 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules. And this is the basic unit of energy during metabolism, the breakdown of larger molecules into smaller molecules to remove toxins and wastes from our body in our excretory system. And what is this excretory system? This excretory system is an example of anatomy. Okay, anatomy structure. We have respiratory system, nervous system, circulatory system, reproductive system, endocrine system. Okay, central nervous system. The CNS also talks about the brain, our neurons, how we think, how we respond to specific stimuli in day by day to our lives. Wow, di ba? Ganon! Okay, ang dami sinabi ni John. Okay, so now we go back. Di ba? Things like that we should be smart enough. Okay, ganon. Okay, like that. So, question number 1. Ganon talaga, guys. The only way to pass in a certain examination is top knowledge and acquired knowledge. Okay? Plus your the God-given IQ to you. God-given, meaning it already come to you since you were born. Automatic, by default. You don't have to study that one, but God gave you that kind of, IQ from 1 year old to 40 years old. It's already given, even though you don't receive that in school. That's the meaning of IQ. Okay? Automatic lang siya. Nakakaloka. Since one day when you grow in this world. Charot! Okay, nakakaloka. Okay, diba? So, how to solve this? Okay. 10 moles of CH4. So start with the basis of calculation. Okay mga palangga, in solving any problems, could it be math or science, okay, you need to start with the basis of calculation, particularly your datum and your data, or your given specifically, so that we will not be focused on the grammar. Okay, we will just say given. Okay, to make safe, right? Okay, so given. Okay, the only one datum na naman, is 10 moles of CH4. Okay, like that. Okay. Now, how can you do this 10 moles to be converted into molecules? Okay, molecules like that. Because we are going to solve the molecules here. Okay, now, start those problems with using the dimensional conversion way of solving. Mga kakampings, really, I'm wearing a beautiful pink shirt. Wow. Thank you, Lord. Diba? Okay, so 10 moles of CH4. So start with 10 moles of CH4. Of course, normally we will start what is given in the problem. Okay, 10 moles. Sabaan kay ko guys, sorry talaga. Okay, so 10 moles of CH4. Okay, like this. Now, you need to multiply this with a denominator with have the same unit of mole also to cancel that out somewhere along the way in your computation and calculation. Okay, multiply that with 1 mole. Okay, 1 mole of CH4. Okay, like that. Now, in every 1 mole of CH4, there is equivalent 6.023 times 10 to the 23 Avogadro number. And now, we're looking for a molecule. So put 6.023 times 10 to the 23 molecule. Like that. And bingo cancels the mole. You can now solve the molecule. Calculator, please. Ganon. Okay. Now some also, including myself before, I'm really confused. What is really a 1 mole? For example, if I have water, 1 mole, what is the differentiation between saying 1 mole of water, then you will also 1 molecule of water? How can you justify that? Later I will discuss. Okay. Like this. So we need to understand the chemistry grammar, huh? Not only the English grammar, the chemistry grammar and the math grammar as well. Okay? Like that. So 10, nakakaloka. O di ba mga palangga, 6.023 exponent to the 23 times 10. So we have 6.023 times 10 to the negative, no, times 10 to the positive 24. Wow. Ang taas? So 6.023 times 10 to the 24. Or you can simply add one exponent here because it's only dealing with 0. It's easy to multiply numbers with 0. You can only move 1, 2, 3, and in your exponent, something like that. But I need to be correct all the time by using the scientific calculator to make safe. Okay? So this is your 6.023 times 10 to the 24 molecule. Oh, molecule of CH4. O diba? O ganon. Molecule of CH4. Ganon. So this is your answer from the first question. Calculate the molecules. And then, the atoms of hydrogen form. Hala. So meaning to say, you split the hydrogen from the natural gas methane, CH4. So we need not to back up with a chemical reaction. The decomposition reaction from methane or natural gas into carbon atom and hydrogen gas. Okay, ganon. How can we do that? Okay, so erase, because I have a limited space in a whiteboard. Okay, like that. Okay. Thank you so much to those viewers last night. So many people watching my videos last night. I'm very, very happy. Okay. Like that. So thank you guys. And you know, your videos are rising all the time. Then last night, I look at my, analytics graphical representation of their videos. Really, it's rising more last night only. I don't know now. Okay, it depends on the viewers. Okay, like that. Okay, but it's my obligation to do videos all the time. Daily, daily, ala too. Something like that. Okay, get the point. Not yeah, daily, daily, ala too after work. Okay, that's why I don't want to overtime. Okay, I'm not happy doing overtime. Okay, something like that. So it's gonna be like this. Then CH4, C plus H is equals to, we start with the decomposition now. So we start with methane. Okay, decomposition reaction, one of the types of chemical reaction, decomposition. Okay, so CH4 is equal to carbon atom plus hydrogen gas. Okay, then balance the chemical reaction, hydrogen, 2, other 4, and you have to put 2 in the other side. And then one carbon of atom, one atom of carbon, check, 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 check. Oh, hydrogen atom, check. So in the chemical reaction, it is the atoms are being balanced, not the number of moles. Again, in the chemical reaction, it is the atoms are being balanced, not the number of moles. Okay, in that alone would help a lot. Okay, in your future calculations. Okay, now we have here 6.023 times 10 to the 4 molecules. Then we need to convert this into atoms. Okay, now your basis of calculation now will be your answer of the molecule. 6.023. Okay, mga talangga kong hitad. Okay, times 10 to the 24 molecules. Okay, like that. CH4. Now, your denominator is expected to be molecules to be cancelled out. That's the rule in math. Okay? It should be cancelled, then the denominator will be the same on what you are being multiplied. Something like that. Okay, it's also molecule here. So, you will say, 1 molecule of CH4. Nakakaloka. Diba? 1 molecule of CH4. Now, in every molecule of CH4 here, take a look in our reactant in the left side. This is 1 molecule of CH4, 1 molecule of methane, 1 molecule of natural gas. The simplest form of hydrocarbon gas is a natural gas. Okay, that's theory, right? Okay, so 1 molecule of methane gas or natural gas, then you will split the hydrogen atoms there, because you are computing for the atoms of hydrogen. So you can focus yourself on the 2 moles of hydrogen gas. Now, since you are looking for the atom, you are not looking for the mole. And what is the technical definition of a mole? It should be the number of moles or the coefficient beside the element or a compound times or multiply to the subscript. And that's very clear. Again, the technical definition of an atom is the number of moles or number of mole and the coefficient that put beside the element and the compound multiplied to the subscript. And what is that subscript? That subscript is the number written down below in each element in your chemical reaction. And then, if it happens to be there is no number written below in the element in your chemical reaction, then it is understood to be 1. In chemistry, 0 or nothing subscript means 1 automatically. Okay, not only the subscript issue, and also in the coefficient and mole issue. If the element and a compound has no number written beside it, then automatically declare that as 1 mole or 1 coefficient. Okay, now the unit of your coefficient is the mole. So literally, they are tantamount with each other. When we say mole, that's also coefficient in respect to the theory of the chemical reactions. Okay, something like that. Now, if we have one molecule of methane, then we have how many atoms? 2 times 2. So 2 moles of hydrogen times 2 subscript. So this will become your 4 atoms of hydrogen. Because other will be confused, they will put 2 here as an atom. No, it's not. That's still mole. Okay. And somebody also will put 2. No, that is still a subscript. Now, to determine the atoms, multiply the moles and the subscript. And this is really spoon feeding, right? Okay, so 4 atoms of hydrogen. Cancel the molecule, and now we can obtain the atoms of hydrogen formed in your decomposition reaction from methane to carbon atom and hydrogen gas. And now, calculator please. Okay. Pwede ka nang yaw-yaw ay times 4 is equals to 2.4092 times 10 to the exponent 25 is our atoms of hydrogen formed in decomposition reaction of methane. Something like that. Okay? 2.41 okay times 10 okay to the 25 atoms of hydrogen. Ganon. So you have now answered question number 1. Okay, so the number of molecules is 6.023 times 10 to the 4 molecules, and the atoms of hydrogen is 2.41 times 10 to the 25 atom. Finish. Okay, like that. Any questions so far? Mga palangga for this important topics in chemistry about substances, atoms, molecules, moles, ions, formula units, and particles. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, these are really basic in chemistry. If you don't understand this, nganga ka for the next chemistry level. Really. Okay? You get the point. That's why we have General Chemistry Lecture 1, General Chemistry Lecture 2, and it's gonna be 3 units, but for us it's gonna be 5 units, Chemical Engineering students and BS Chemistry students. Or any science-related courses, mataas yung units for us. Okay? But for others, I think 3 units only. Okay? It depends on the course you take in college or your tertiary level of education. Charot! Okay? Now, class. Problem number 1. I have to erase this problem number 1. Diba? Ganon. Okay. Now guys, I'm doing a simultaneous live streamings in my FB account and in my YT account also. So as you can really observe, I am stopping posting, commenting in my FB account because I'm very busy of something else for my bread and butter. Charot! Okay, now I have to end up with this first video in my YouTube, but still I will continue my FB live streaming. Okay, wait for a while, 10 minutes, give me 2 minutes more. You relax, fasten your belt, and take a deep breath as we go to problem number 2. Okay, I don't have to do an intermission number, you know na. Okay, like that. Okay, mga palangga kong hitan. Charot.